In Oconee County, a woman is accused of trafficking fentanyl. Jessie Pace was booked into jail early this morning. In November, she was pulled over by deputies who say she was driving a stolen vehicle. She was arrested and later released on bond. The sheriff's office says they found a white powder in her car that was tested and found to be fentanyl. She was arrested again this morning and is now charged with trafficking fentanyl.
On American highways, over 20 million traffic stops every year. Less than 2% reveal something unexpected, but that 2% changes everything. 65,000 fentanyl pills hidden next to a child's car seat. Street value, $1.6 million. Discovered during a simple stop for speeding. Today, we're diving into the invisible reality of drug trafficking, how a minor infraction exposes multi-million-dollar networks, and most importantly, where's the line between public safety and constitutional rights? Before we dive into this rarely analyzed footage, subscribe now. These investigations take hours of research. Your support allows us to keep breaking down these complex issues. 2024, over 107,000 overdose deaths in the United States. 70% involved fentanyl. That's the equivalent of a passenger plane crashing every single day of the year. Mexican cartels flood the market with $13 billion worth of drugs annually. And contrary to what you might imagine, the majority doesn't come through secret tunnels. No, it comes down highways in ordinary vehicles, driven by people who don't look suspicious. That's where highway criminal interdiction comes in. Specialized officers who, with a simple traffic violation, intercept millions of dollars in drugs. But at what cost? Watch this interaction carefully. A woman, her boyfriend, a friend, pulled over for following a truck too closely. The officer asks seemingly casual questions. Where are you headed? Who are you visiting? How long are you staying? But the answers don't match up. The driver says she's going to visit an uncle in Albuquerque. The passenger mentions a friend. She claims she doesn't really know the friend traveling with them. None of them can provide a specific address. According to DEA protocols, these inconsistencies are red flags. In 78% of cases where these indicators are present, a search actually reveals something illegal. They all refuse the search. That's their absolute constitutional right, but that refusal reinforces the suspicion. Enter the canine. He alerts on the vehicle. Legally, that becomes probable cause to search, and what's discovered exceeds imagination. 65,000 fentanyl pills, $1.6 million, enough to potentially kill 32 million people, hidden in a family vehicle. But here's the question. What if the dog hadn't alerted? These pills would have entered our communities, our schools, our neighborhoods. If you're finding this analysis fascinating, hit that like button now. It helps spread these realities. Let's continue. What's striking is the diversity of people involved. A mother with her 3-year-old daughter. She works in hotel accounting. Her husband, an employee in steel distribution. On the surface, an ordinary family on a road trip. But watch the nervousness, the trembling hands, the evasive answers.
There's nothing to do with being targeted, bro. It has to do with, this is what I do for a living.
I mean, it's a freedom to drive down the road.
Yeah,
I get it, you know?
She committed traffic violations. I conducted a traffic stop.
Okay,
and
so
I'm going to be running my canine.
We're being detained for a traffic violation?
Yeah, you get detained when there's a traffic stop, correct, yeah. You're not free to go when you get pulled over for a traffic stop.
But everything came up to par. I mean,
well,
my insurance is up to date.
I'm just letting you know, I'm going to be running my canine on the vehicle. Okay, if he alerts, we'll go from there. If he doesn't alert, she'll get her warning. You'll be on your way.
That's not what you said from the start. You said you were going to run. What you had to run, give us a warning, and we were on our way.
That was at the beginning. It's changed, bro.
Why?
Hidden in their trunk, over 100,000 fentanyl pills. Cartels deliberately target people with clean records. Why? Because they attract less attention. 62% of people arrested during these stops had no prior criminal history. But this case reveals another reality: coercion. A man explains, his hands shaking, that he was forced by cartel members who threatened his family in Mexico. First time, he claims. The cartel supposedly contacted him the day before. Is he a victim or an accomplice? The law is clear in his guilt, but is moral justice? Here's the dilemma. The Fourth Amendment protects against unreasonable searches, but the Supreme Court established that a canine alert constitutes sufficient probable cause. This ruling remains one of the most debated. Why? Studies show that dogs have a false alert rate reaching up to 40%. Bodycam technology, deployed massively since 2015 with over $100 million in federal investment, brings transparency. These images show officers following protocols, Miranda rights, respectful treatment, child protection, but they also show the terror of those arrested, the crying, the panic. These lives will be irreversibly changed. For fentanyl trafficking in these quantities, 10 to 25 years federal prison. In these documented cases, 3.5 years for one, 2.5 years for another. A third disappeared after release on bail and is now subject to a federal warrant. The question, do these sentences deter, or do they just feed an overburdened prison system without addressing root causes? So what do we do? The current administration allocated $46 billion to the drug war, but here's what's changing. For the first time, 40% goes to prevention and treatment versus 60% for enforcement. Law enforcement argues every seizure saves thousands of lives. Those 65,000 pills would have fueled the crisis for months. Reformers counter that traffic stops create a disproportionate surveillance system, affecting minorities more heavily. Public health experts suggest treating consumption as a health problem, not criminal. Portugal decriminalized in 2001. Overdoses dropped 85%. The 2025 budget allocates $2.3 billion for new technologies, non-intrusive scanners, chemical detectors, artificial intelligence. But the paradox, the more we secure, the more cartels innovate. What did we learn? Interdiction stops are effective, the numbers prove it, but they raise profound questions about civil liberties and fairness. The reality, there's no simple solution to a crisis killing 300 Americans daily. What we can do, understand the complexity, recognize that officers are trying to protect their communities, also recognize that some arrested people are caught in desperate situations. The real question isn't should we do these stops, but how do we create a system that protects without sacrificing our values? If this analysis made you think, subscribe now, like it, share it, and tell us in the comments what solution seems promising to you. More enforcement? More prevention? Something else? The debate is just beginning. I'll see you soon. Take care.